No, because the first time he flew me out, 3 weeks later to the day, I was back out there. I was telling everybody I'm going back to New York. They're like, again?
We often talk about marriage and the difficulties of marriage and avoiding the pitfalls of what happens if a marriage goes wrong. But if you are a man who sooner or later wants to have children, or you have children, you have to face the fact that you want your daughter to get married. And this is just a real thing that we have to confront. And so as difficult as marriage is, if you're looking at a little girl that's growing up, you're going to want her to get married. Which leads me to Jedi power battles, because I love this game. But there's an interesting thing about this game. Of course, I played so much of this game. You've heard me talk about this game before, but you see, this is Qui-Gon and it's Obi-Wan fighting the destroyer droid, and you see that they have the two energy bars, right? This is a different one when they're fighting Darth Maul. You can see Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and you see the green bar is the life bar, and that blue bar is the force bar. When you play this game, you're managing the two bars at the same time. And so I like to look at the green bar as maybe the aptitude that your daughter might have. She might want to go to college, or she might want to earn money. So the green bar is maybe her career aptitude, if you will. But when I think about the blue bar, and that's the point of this conversation today, I think about her bridehood. How can you max out that blue bar without depleting it in the younger years, so that when she gets of an age where she's ready to find a decent person to marry, that she has a blue bar of bridehood that is maxed out? So remember, in this analogy, the blue bar is a bridehood bar where you want to maximize the ability to be a bride, if you will, and you'd like to minimize damage, and you'd like to preserve that bar as much as you can. And so this is an example of a beautiful young lady, but you can tell from her experiences that she has had a lot of experience that is probably worked a lot of damage on that blue bar, as you can hear.
Man flies me out every time he thinks I'm about to do something stupid. He knows me so well. Nah, y'all, because for real, back in my like pro, premium, prime hoe days, like college, like I was messing with dudes, but like they were still here. So it's like, I know I could not have sex for like a month and still be okay. But like if I needed to get it on a quick, he's still in the same state as me, city as me. This man is all the way in New York. So like it's not really as readily available, right? No, because the first time he flew me out, 3 weeks later to the day, I was back out there. I was telling everybody I'm going back to New York. They're like, again? Yeah, I'm gonna stick beside him. Because the thing is, every time I be there, he kill it, euthanize it, bury it 12 feet deep. By the time I come back, I don't even want to be touched by myself, let alone anybody else. So like he be timing it perfect.
You can hear the conversation. She's getting flued out by a guy who probably is a baller type guy in, I guess, is New York. And whatever they're doing in the bedroom, he's doing a good job because she's very satisfied. But you can hear with some of the word usage, and then she says back in her certain days that, you know, she was really doing things, and it just is an example of a young lady whose blue bar might be depleted.
Please. If you guys could give one piece of advice for women, what would you be?
I want you ladies to go into a dream world. It's your wedding day. You have your white dress on. Your father's about to walk you down the aisle. Everyone you know and you love is there sitting. Would you be proud if pictures from your Instagram, videos of you on the internet, would you be proud if they were played up on the screen for everybody to see?
Remember, in this analogy, the green bar is career potential or earnings potential. So maximizing that's not really what we're talking about in this particular video. We're talking about that blue bar, which would represent bride potential. And what we want to do is protect that bar again as much as we can. This is, again, another example of what it looks like when you put all the focus in earnings potential and neglect the bride potential.
All right, Stussy and Rachel, Stussy and Rachel, how old are you guys?
19.
I'm 18.
Are you guys originally
19 and
Yeah,
18.
I'm from Maryville.
Yeah, I'm from Mesa.
So you grew up in Mesa and you grew up in Maryville.
Yeah.
What's your current situations? You guys working out here on the track?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been doing that kind of work for?
I've been doing it for a year.
I've been doing it for 6 months.
And how do you guys like it?
It's pretty chill.
It brings some money.
Yeah. Nice little slide job.
Gets things paid, so I fuck with it.
How did you guys get the idea about working out here?
Seeing people on the streets, and I was like, damn, I wonder what it's like to make that much money.
I just tried it out one day and it brought in hella money on that first night, and then I just kept rocking with it.
Yeah.
How much money would you say a regular night brings in?
A regular night for me would bring in like 700 if it's a good night. But some nights I'd be having bad nights.
Much like the first one that we saw, is a representation of young ladies totally focusing on that first bar, the green bar, and maybe that is earning money or is just enjoying the present, but at the expense of neglecting the blue bar, which is the bride capacity, the bride potential, and just using it up. And you heard her say at the very end that on the bad nights, it's those bad nights that are what's using up that bride capacity bar. Just like the young lady who was talking about, she went through her phase, and when she breaks up with the guy that's flying her out and she goes through that mourning period, that's what's going to deplete that blue bar. If only there was a way to be able to fly around the world and do it in a dignified fashion and still be a lady. You make me feel special. Korean, 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 and more Korean, more Korean, 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 more Korean, 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 Korean. That's what you do. Again, I feel special. So this is one example. These are young flight attendants, and they're using social media in a way that's very cute and is dignified. They're dancing the twice, and it's a way that's dignified and it preserves their bridal value. How about this TikTok? This is a lady that's another flight attendant, and she's showing how she ties up her hair. And what's really interesting about TikToks like these is that they're cute, and it's a way to demonstrate yourself to the world in a way where a guy who has value or is building his value can look at this young lady and say, wow, this is a potential bride for me. I can bust my behind and maybe have a chance in making someone like this my wife in the future while I'm getting my money together. Very simple. It's conservative.
Wizard, you found the hyperdrive!
Anakin, run! Tell him to take off.
Just like in Jedi Power Battles, when you're playing the game, it's not only important to advance forward and to be mindful of your health, your green bar while you're fighting, but the force bar, the blue bar, and in this particular case, we're talking about the bridal potential. The ability to protect that is paramount. It is so important because if you're a flight attendant and you're enjoying your youth by flying around and seeing the world without doing things that are extremely detrimental to your long-term marital viability, then when it's time for you to settle down, you won't have a lot of the damage that will come with being someone that's getting flued out or someone who is doing online work that you can't really show at your wedding, as Myron said. I think it's really important for potential fathers, because you're going to want to see your daughters get married, or even men who are looking in the dating market thinking, what was she doing in her younger years? Because if those younger years were something like a flight attendant or someone that was a desk worker at a bank or something where they had a job that, even if they were a bit crazy on the other side, at least they weren't doing something where from the beginning it was maximize pleasure at the cost of my future bridal possibilities. They have the ability, the potential to be a bride in the future. And as a potential husband for some of us, and as potential fathers for others of us, it's important to be mindful of that blue bar and teach the lessons to our young daughters that preserve that bar, preserve your chance to get married, preserve your family. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.